need a helmet. Heard it, felt it, booting up the nail shit. Dagger, cutting up the lessons. Keep a shield on me, it's a M&P Wesson. Boot bop, blue strip, rooftop. Big brew bowling in the city where it's too hot. Goo wop, knee deep, two sock. Mind on scripts, got script. I'm a cool doc, hold up. This truth music, dagger in the shield, better get used to it. New shit, new skins, new wild, waiting on God. God came in due time, zealous. For the law, I'm jealous. My God, our God, nothing you can tell is Christ. Waiting on the chariots, crazy, scary, spooky, hilarious. Life's a little different when you act through the field. Keep a dagger in the shield. Life's a little different when you act through the field. Keep a dagger in the shield, 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 dagger in.
What's going on, man? You listening? Yeah. Hey, man, you what's your ethnicity?
Mexican.
You Mexican? You believe in the Bible? Yeah. Do you know your race or ethnicity according to the Bible?
Oh no, I don't actually.
No? No idea?
No idea.
Let me ask you something. Why do you think, what if I told you that when you go to these churches, they don't teach the Bible?
What do they teach?
They teach their own doctrine. They use the Bible to teach it, but they don't teach the Bible.
It's hard to find right church.
No, you won't find it.
You won't find it. Yeah, I won't. I haven't.
Not one church. Not one. Not one church you go to. Right? So let me ask you something. Does God love everybody? Hey, could you get Psalm 5:5 for me? Right? I'm gonna tell you right now that God does not love everybody.
That repent, he pays the rent.
Well, I mean, yeah, exactly. He says he hates me. If you out here committing wickedness, he hates you. So how can he love everybody if he hates them? Right? Then you know this is just proof right here that they don't teach the Bible in church. Right? You got it? Yeah.
What book are you reading from?
Huh?
What book are you reading from?
The Bible.
New King James?
What, you want us to read from the New King James?
No. I'm just curious to know what.
Man, we got King James, we got the NLT, we got the NIV, we got the Amplified, the Good News, and the Message. And if there's a translation that you prefer, we can look it up on our phone.
I prefer the Gideon's, but New King James is cool.
Right? Down here.
Psalm chapter 5:5. The foolish shall not stand in thy sight. Thou hatest all workers of iniquity.
So he hates the workers of iniquity. Right? Iniquity, sin. Right? If you were a sinner, practicing sin, going out, doing it, going out of your way, he hates it. Right? So he can't love everybody. So he can't love everybody. Right? So you got any idea, let me ask you this, any idea why they don't teach the Bible in these churches?
I have no idea.
No idea? Let me get a Deuteronomy 7:6. No idea why they don't teach the Bible. Right?
No idea why. No idea why.
No idea why.
They'll read from the Bible.
They'll read from it.
I don't understand. I don't know.
They'll read from it, yeah.
Sometimes I don't catch it.
Right. Because like what I've been telling people, what they've been doing now is they've been using a history book to teach math. Right? Or a math book to teach history, vice versa. How you feel like doing
that's why there's so many.
Right? Yeah, because you can find math. You can find math in a history book. You can find some history in a math book, but it's not what you're teaching, right? You got it?
I appreciate it. This is Titus 1:16. They profess that they know God, but in works they deny him, being abominable and disobedient, and unto every good work reprobate.
Right? So they say they know God, but they're disobedient to him.
For the moment.
Not for the moment, for their life.
Well, they play the part when they read from the Bible, but then they go to the world and they're in the flesh.
Yeah, but I mean, playing the part isn't.
No, yeah, of course.
It's just,
that's the word. That's even worse.
I'm faking. Yeah, because I'm lying. I'm lying. I get, man, like if I hit you, like, hey, man, you're going to say you're sorry. And I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. Don't mean nothing. You don't mean anything, right? They got that Deuteronomy. Right, so I'm gonna let you in. This is what we come out to bring out the truth of the Bible, right? This is what they don't teach in the Bible. Go ahead.
Deuteronomy chapter 7:6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
Are you aware that God has a chosen people?
I'm sorry?
Are you aware that God has a chosen people?
I believe that, yeah.
Right? He has a chosen people. And as we just read, these people that he chose are meant to be above everyone on the face of the earth. What do you think that looks like?
Destruction.
Destruction?
Yeah, from like let's say I'm up there and I'm looking down, it's destruction.
Okay. Well, I mean, because you see in the way you see the way these white people are ruling the world right now, right?
I don't see it.
You don't see that?
In a way, yeah, but I can't just blame white people. You know, I can blame myself. I can blame, because there's a lot that I do that I don't feel is right. And most of the time I'm pissing on the side of the street because there ain't no restroom around.
But I'm at, okay, so did you put yourself in that position ultimately? No, wait. How did we get in that position?
Be labeled.
Blacks and Latinos. How did we get in a position to where we're urinating on the sidewalk and out in public and not in bathrooms?
How did it get that way?
How did we get that way? Did we do that to us? Did we do that to us?
In a sense, yes.
How? How would you say that?
Some people go into the restrooms and they get high and they're not out. They go to sleep in there because they don't want to get robbed. That kind of ruins it for everybody.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, because I'm getting more along the lines of we wasn't in this situation until we encountered these white people. Until we encountered the Europeans.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah.
So you wouldn't be. So if it wasn't for them in the first place, you wouldn't be pissing. You wouldn't be urinating on the sidewalk. See what I'm getting at? Right? So although I can understand that the decisions that you made in life kind of led you to this, but ultimately they set up the board for you to fall. Right?
Statistics and all that?
Yeah.
They pretty much through like the past and studying statistics, they pretty much know what my next move is.
Right.
I really don't know it, but they're kind of watching me do it, and it's falling in place as through statistics, and I'm just pretty much labeled, So
right.
It's like it's a lost cause type of thing, that they look at it. Because I still try. God knows I try.
Right.
It is what it is.
Right. So we're getting back to the Bible. So God said there's a special people that who are meant to be above everyone on the earth. Right? You got that? Serious. You got a question?
I'm just listening.
You just listening? Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine. So just to let you know where we're at, I'm telling him that God has a chosen people. Do you agree with that?
Oh, yeah,
And then he said,
we are the chosen.
we're the chosen.
Yeah.
Okay then. So
Let's go first, right?
right. So read that.
Matthew 5:13. Ye are the salt of the earth.
Right. So he said his people. Christ is telling them the same people that God said is above everything. Right? The same people that Moses brought out of Egypt. Christ is telling them, these same people, that they are the salt of the earth. Right? What do you know salt? What do you use salt for?
Everything. We need it. We need it to live.
To live? Yeah. I mean, can you name something specific?
Like what do you mean?
Like I got a handful of salt, right? What are you gonna do with it?
Cook some rice.
Cook some rice, right? It brings flavor to it. Right? It brings flavor to things. So these people that he's talking to says he's saying that it's the flavor of the world, right? What people, if I had to ask you, what people would you say that this world would be absolutely boring if they weren't around?
Say that again? I didn't catch that.
So he said that these people are the salt of the earth, and salt brings flavor, right? Makes fun, right? Hey, good time. So I'm asking you, what people that if they weren't there, this world would be boring?
It's sad to say, but it's reverse. So when we're up there, let's say we all go to heaven, we're all up above, we're all kind of just not mentally thinking about material things. We're just all kind of like almost like zombies. We're all on the same page. We're all about love. We're all about
Hold on. Wait. I'm not talking about that.
No.
I'm saying there's a people on this earth that the world itself would be boring without. It'd be boring.
Maybe I don't understand the question.
Well, you know how there's nothing to do, right? You're bored. You're sitting at home, bored, twiddling your fingers. You're bored, right? I'm saying that this earth would be boring without these people.
It would be sad.
So who do you think these people are?
Most humble. The most humble.
Most humble?
Yeah.
What race of people do you think they are? The world would be boring without them.
Straight up, blacks.
Blacks and Latinos.
I don't even count them. Since I've been on the street, blacks have been helping me out.
Right.
The toughest.
Let me ask you something. You say you're Mexican, right? You know what a cholo is? Right? Where can I find a cholo?
Right here.
Right here? You find a cholo right here in California, right? You think I can find them over in Korea?
Yeah.
You think I can find cholos in Korea?
Not Mexican, but.
I mean, don't you have to be Mexican to be a cholo? You gotta be Mexican to be a cholo. Correct me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be Mexican.
You don't gotta be Mexican.
You don't have to be Mexican to be a cholo? They got Korean, man, they got
Status.
It's just like
What is this?
It's just like saying.
I mean, there's different people in games.
That's true. That's
actual.
Okay. Yeah. But yeah, man, you get.
Yeah.
But I mean, you got cholos over in Korea. I'm sure they like never left.
Now those are just emulated.
Yeah, exactly. That's my point, because they're just emulating what we do, right?
Yeah.
You got cholos in Korea. You got YNs in Korea, right? He's got his shot. You ain't seen that? Got YNs in Korea, man. It's crazy.
Yeah.
This place. What I'm saying is, this place would be boring without us,
Of course.
right?
Yeah.
It'd be boring without Black, Latinos, and Native Americans.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Everybody would be like a program to like repetitive. Like every person would be the same.
Yeah. It'd be vanilla, gray,
Yeah.
right? Boring, right?
Wake up to go to work and come home and
So with salt bringing flavor, right? Can you think of anything else that salt does?
It puts out fire.
Puts out fire.
It makes ice colder.
It melts ice. Yeah, puts out fire. That's interesting. What if I told you that this world's on fire?
In a sense, yeah.
Right? This world's on, like, not like literally,
yeah,
right? Spiritually, it's on fire, right? If we're that salt, we need to be able to be there to put it out, right? Right?
Yeah.
You know, salt. I had this brought to my attention the other day. That salt, it can be used to heal things.
Oh yeah, cuts.
Yeah.
Stop bleeding.
You know, it stop bleeding. You can put it in the earth and enrich the soil, right? Even though you have to do it at a certain level, you can't just put it in there, but you can enrich the soil like that. It's a healing agent. So we got flavor,
We got a lot.
right? We got flavor where we can heal the world and we can put out fires. We can put out the fire of the world, right? This is what we can do, right? You can finish that out?
Matthew 5:13. You are the salt of the earth, but if the salt have lost its savor, wherewith shall it be salted? It is thenceforth good for nothing, but to be cast out and to be trodden under foot of men.
Right? So if the salt doesn't work, what do we do with it? Get rid of it.
Get rid of it.
Salt's not working anymore. There's no flavor. There's no healing aspects to it. Get rid of it, right? And the thing about it is, because we already have the flavor, man. We already agreed that this place will be boring, right? So it's not so much the flavor that we want to focus on. We want to focus on the healing, right? This world has to be fixed, right? You see a lot of environmentalists. They want donations, save the whales, save the rainforest, right? But the problem is that with all the donations that they're giving, there's still a human problem, right? Because if I cut myself, right, and I heal it or do something to like kind of patch it up, but then that knife is still there and I cut myself again, what's the point? Right? So we have a human problem. And the way we fix this human problem is by fixing us.
Yes. Yeah, I agree with you.
Right?
Yeah, 100%. I wrote about this. I I believe, like, my opinion, you know, it's just my opinion, but like, as a community, like, I'm from LA. I came over here 5 months ago,
Right.
and you know, there's no alleyways in between houses. You know, all the houses are connected. You can't walk through, like, you can't walk through houses.
Yeah, not like that.
Not like that, not like in LA.
Yeah.
Every house is right here, fence, yard, house, fence, yard. You know, it's separated. It's separated by state, right? But when I came here, I went up on a hill and I looked into a building, and man, it looks like a park. Like if you could see, like, on the inside, it looks like a park. But it's
Right.
everybody's backyard. There's no fence, there's no nothing.
Right.
So if you're out in the backyard, you're gonna meet your neighbors. And they're gonna be probably walking by. You know, and I believe that's how it should be. You know, like as a community, you know, like that's your community, and that's what your main focus is on. If there's a child born, that community comes together to raise that child. You know, and if that child is a failure or a delinquent or I don't believe that child needs to suffer. I think the whole community needs to suffer. And that's when the law comes in. You know what I mean?
Which law?
Yeah, that part. But the law that will regulate the community.
Well, I mean, because that's literally what laws are for, is to
Right.
regulate.
Yeah.
So, which laws do we abide by?
Our constitutional rights.
By the U.S. law.
Our constitutional rights.
So, but let me ask. So, what has America done
For me?
for us?
For us? Well, for me, I could speak for myself. Like I don't know about others, but for me, like, at my worst, my state never left me. You know, when a prisoner out of state, my state went and picked me up. You know, like, you ain't got nothing out there, California will take you. And come over here, you're gonna be a parole for a while, but we'll take you. They never left me. Pretty much hanging. You know, I'm still on the street, but give me something to eat, you know, or you know. Yeah, less people around people like you as well, you know. Straight up.
Because what I'm saying is, right? What I'm saying is that with us being the people, God's chosen people, right? Being the descendants of the people that Moses brought out of Egypt, right? Moses didn't just bring you out of Egypt, right? He brought us out of Egypt, right? So I gotta ask, like, what has the American Constitution? How has that benefited us?
That's, to me, it's a big disappointment because they fucked it up. My constitutional rights right now don't mean nothing. Why? Because every little thing that you do is you pretty much agreeing to an arbitration. So, like, let's say I buy a bus ticket, something happens on that bus, I can't have a fair trial because of if you read the ticket, or like, not this one specifically, but like, let's say the train, what's it called, the Metro Link or the
Art?
Yeah, even the part. That one. If you read the terms and policies or the terms and conditions, you're signing an arbitration. So, like, let's say the train crashes or whatever, you don't get a fair trial. You get an arbitration, you know, which is more than likely going to go in their favor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So our constitutional rights are they're going to stay.
I would say we didn't have Constitution. We never had Constitution.
Yeah, you're right about that. That's why.
But that's why I'm asking. That's why I'm asking. Like, how has America benefited us?
It hasn't, because it hasn't taught us the way of how the law should actually be.
Well, because what we should be doing instead is following God's law. Because you know, because America was built on the blood, sweat, and tears of Black, Latinos, and Native Americans, but it has done nothing for us. Right? Why would you look to their laws for any kind of inspiration?
A lot of people from other countries look for this type of living, you know?
Yeah. But like, the only reason they can look towards America for that is because of what we do. Right? And America is so anti-us that they give other nations opportunities to come here, benefit off of it, and then point that we're doing something wrong.
Yeah, I felt that. Yeah, I felt that.
Right? So what we should be doing is following the laws found in the Bible. Right?
That's why I say, like, as a community, we should know each other better, know our neighbors. Like in LA, like when I got to prison, I went home, I went back to my mom, and all new faces. Every people pass away, so new neighbors, and I'm like, who are the neighbors? You know, my mom don't even know. And I'm just like, that's the problem. Right there. You know, my mom has her own nonprofit organization, you know, helping others, but she doesn't know her neighbors. You know, and like I hear her, she's getting old, you know, so she'll talk shit and she'll badmouth her neighbors, and I'm just like, it don't make no sense, you know.
Yeah, well, I mean, because you know.
But yeah, I think. No, yeah.
Yeah. So, well, I mean, because I'm asking, like when you talk about like neighbors and communities, are you extending that to everyone?
Everyone, yes, and to focus on their block,
But why should that extend to everyone when they have done nothing to help us?
That's why we cut them out. We cut them out. It's more like a martial law type thing, you know?
Yeah. So it can't. So that community can't be for everyone.
No, it's no. It's not going to be for everybody, but that's how we learn. We look at other communities. What are they doing better? Okay, we can follow that, you know, like, and then and learn like that.
But we don't need.
We don't, but I think it'll bring more love in this world.
No, all we gotta do is follow the rules in the Bible.
And that's I think the community should start with that.
Because for instance, the you see a lot of other nations of people not having a problem with eating pork, right? But the Bible tells us not to.
Yeah, it does.
Not to say that we can't learn from these other nations.
But most people don't know why. They don't have the knowledge of why we shouldn't eat the pork.
What does it matter? God said not to.
You're right. But since people don't know like the reason why is that being said? A person will just eat it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I found out exactly why. I'm like, I don't like eating pork. I love it. And sometimes like, I do break it down and I eat it, but
You gotta stop eating.
I know I do because it's bad for you. It's bad for you.
It absolutely is.
It's bad for you.
Yeah, because I'm sure growing up, because we've all heard this same thing. I don't care how old you are. If you are an Israelite, you have heard this from your parents when you ask them why. They tell you because I said so. Right? We follow these laws because God said to do it. The God that made us the salt of the earth. The God that put us above everybody else. That's why we do it. Right?
Hebrews has the words, huh? You can't eat a lot of things.
Yeah, because
you can't eat a lot of things.
because if we're supposed to be above everybody, that makes us royalty. Would you agree? So if we're royalty, if we're kings and the princess, we should be eating like kings and princesses, should we not? And as a king, I don't want pork on my plate because it's a filthy animal. As a king, I don't want lobster on my plate because it's a filthy animal.
And you say that because of what the lobster eats? Just out of curiosity.
I mean, what it eats, what it does. I mean, no, it's not even that. It ain't got nothing to do with that. Because God told me not to eat it. It ain't got nothing to do. It has nothing to do with how the lifestyle that the lobster leads, the lifestyle that the pig leads, right? The shrimp, the crab, the catfish. It has nothing to do with the life that it leads. God said not to do it.
But it helps to know the facts about, okay, if you eat a pork that's spoiled, you know you're gonna get cancer. You know you're gonna get a virus.
You can get that from fresh pork.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, even then, I mean, it's good to know. Why not? But I mean,
it's good to know. It helps because it helps.
But I mean, why? Just don't do it.
Right. But some people they don't learn like that. You know, this is one thing I noticed too, because I'm this way, and it's I find out the hard way. It's just the way I learn. I have to go through the fire, and so I see why now. But it's I guess it's that sense that I'm getting that not everybody learns the same. So some people you gotta kind of pick at their head or drill it in their head, or you know what I mean?
So you said you have to go through the fire. Yeah. Here's the crazy thing. Here's the thing that's really crazy. You would never have to experience the fire.
Of course not.
There's a way to never have to experience it. You know how to do it?
Following the word, right?
Following the God.
But I'm the way my mind works is like I always gotta know why. I always gotta break it down to a logic why. You know what I mean?
Why?
Because I'm human. Because I'm human.
I mean, but see, trying to figure this all out is what got us into this situation.
Right.
Right? It's why you're called Mexican.
Yeah.
Right? And not ISRAELITE. No, you're human. They can't stop you. They can't deny that you're human. They can't deny it. They can deny that you're an Israelite though. Right? You ask any of them. We've been told, I can't tell you how many times I've been told I'm not an Israelite. Right? Hey, you know how many times you got told you weren't an Israelite?
A lot.
Can't even put a number to it. They deny our status as Israelites. But even though the Bible backs it up, they deny it. They can't deny you being human. You got 10 fingers and toes. Can't deny that. But they can tell you you're not an Israelite. And us trying to figure out how or why things work somewhat led to our downfall.
Yeah.
When we should have just obeyed.
That's the truth.
Right? When we should have just obeyed. Right? Hey, could you get that? What is it? The obedience is better? Yeah. Right?
Obedience is better than sacrifice.
We could have, instead of just, why try to figure it out? Just do it. Because he told you to do it. Right? If anything, I don't mean to get into it, but when you
No, it's good.
Did you grow up with your father? No. Did you grow up with your mom, right?
Oh yeah.
And you would get disciplined physically, correct?
Oh yeah. Oh hell yeah.
Yeah, right. And you would get disciplined physically when you went against what she told you, right? Because you didn't obey. It's the same thing with us, man. We're not obeying the Father, so we're getting physically disciplined, right? But here's what's crazy about it. Our God has given us a way to be forgiven of our disobedience. But we started to abuse that.
How?
Because he says, if you sin,
and then with your mouth, I see.
you would go to the temple and make a sacrifice, right? Now, what we would do is that I would have all these sacrifices ready to go. Listen, I'm about to.
Yeah, I know where you're getting.
I'm about to go crazy this weekend,
Yeah.
right? I'm about to go real crazy this weekend. So I got all these sacrifices ready to go. So then, what? I can go crazy this weekend. Monday, I can go to the temple, and then I'm cool. So we were abusing that system.
That's evil.
Kind of like in the same way how, you hear in the Christian church about how you can be, I guess, like they have some sort of like mentality where you can be wicked all week and then your sins are forgiven because you go to church on Sunday, right?
Yeah.
When you should have just obeyed God in the first place, right? You got that?
This is 1 Samuel 15 and 22. And Samuel said, have the Lord as a great delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices as is obeying the voice of the Lord. Behold, to obey is better than sacrifice, and to hearken than the fat of rams.
Right? To obey is better than the sacrifice. It's much better that you obey.
Thank you for that. Because that's something I would have probably just read right through. But I thank you for that.
Yeah.
I see that.
Yeah, and a lot of people like take it up. They'll say that because there's this big notion that God's no longer dealing with us as a people, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't believe that.
Right? Could you get that? That what does it say? That I change not in the Amplified. I think it's what's it? Malachi 3:6, right? Because there's this notion that they have about God not dealing with this because of the wickedness. Like you said, like I just showed you, we would have all this stuff lined up, right, ready to go the next day so we can be forgiven. But he just wants it. He'd much rather have us obey him, right? Because he doesn't. It wouldn't bother him if we never had sin sacrifice, sin offering, ever again. It wouldn't bother him because we are obeying what he said, right?
Yeah.
You got that?
That's true.
You got that?
Malachi 3:6, for I am the Lord, I do not change.
Right? So the Lord doesn't change. So we're always going to be his people. He's always going to be our God because he never changes. Right? Go ahead.
But remain faithful to my covenant with you. That is why, O sons of Jacob, have not come to an end.
Right? That's why we haven't come to an end. Because he remains faithful to the covenant that we made, his end, right?
There's at least one. There's at least one.
Yeah, because the contract that we made is, our ancestors, the contract that was made was that we would obey his law, and then he would make us the greatest people on the planet. We disobeyed his law, but he just said that he's going to keep his promise. He's going to keep his end of the bargain. Right? But we have to come back to following him. Right? We have to come back to loving one another. We have to come back to not eating pork, shrimp, crab.
And would we have to do it as a whole or individually? Can we do it?
Thankfully, we don't have to do it as a whole. But there has to be enough of us. There has to be enough of us. Because
I thought with just one person is good.
No. Because again, Moses didn't bring one person out of Egypt. Right? He didn't just bring me out of Egypt. He brought us. We have to do this. Right? We got to do it. He didn't bring me out of Egypt. Hey, if he brought me out of Egypt, it'd be a totally different story. Right? If he just brought my brother right here, or my brother behind the, it'd be a totally different story. If he brought the sister right there, it'd be a totally different story. But he didn't. He brought us out of Egypt. So we have to do it. Right? God showed his love for us. God said, you sons of Jacob. Right? He didn't say, oh, they are. I'm sorry, what's your name, brother? Jeffrey. Nice to meet you. They are. He didn't say Jeffrey. He said the sons of Jacob. That means me and you. All of us. Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. That we have to manifest this.
Right. We do.
Right? We have to manifest it. You got something?
What is, just so I can hear your opinion, what do you suggest as far as making it better?
That
we just follow the Bible.
That we follow the Bible. Us as Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. We're the salt of the earth, right? Yeah. So we're meant to, so you can use salt for healing, right? Like we already established, the flavor is going to be born without it. But we have to refine ourselves to be a healing salt, right? So we do that by following the law, right? You got it?
Yes. Jeremiah 31 and 35. Thus saith the Lord, which giveth the sun for a light by day, and the ordinances of the moon and of the stars for a light by night, which divideth the sea when the waves thereof roar. The Lord of hosts is his name. If those ordinances depart from me, before me, but saith the Lord, then the seed of Israel also shall cease from being a nation before me forever. Thus saith the Lord, if heaven above can be measured, and the foundation of the earth searched out beneath, I will also cast off all the seed of Israel for all they have done, for that they have done, saith the Lord.
Hold that. So he said, if the sun starts acting up, if the moon starts acting up, we won't be his people. He said, if the heavens can be measured, we'll stop being his people. If the sea can be measured, we will stop being his people.
And we're working on trying to figure it out, huh?
Exactly.
That is crazy.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's crazy.
The sun does what it does every day, right? It doesn't change. It doesn't start going left. It has a whole arc. The moon does what it does every night. Stars do what it do every year, right? It's a wide open space up there. They haven't figured, they don't know, they haven't mapped the whole ocean floor, right? So if that's the case, we're still his people, right?
But man, it's crazy because I'm pretty sure they're dying to figure it out.
Like you said, we will no longer be his people. You can drop it.
That's crazy. I hit home because like how I was telling you I learned the hard way, and you're telling me like go by the book.
You wouldn't have to.
Yeah, I would have to.
You wouldn't have to learn the hard way.
I'm over here trying to measure the seed.
You're trying to figure it out when all you got to do is this.
Appreciate you.
That's it, man. Yeah.
And
They are.
They are.
Hold on, wait, one more. Could you get the don't search out the things above you? Two mushrooms or something like that?
Well, thank you for that.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Yeah. Right? Because, yeah, man, so we coming out here, we're just trying to heal our people. Right? Because because as I said, as I continually say, our biggest problem is not knowing who we are. And knowing who we are comes with the laws of the Bible, comes with the culture that was given to us, right? As opposed to trying to figure it all out, right? There's no reason to figure it all out when we have the playbook ready to go, right? You like sports?
No, I don't keep up with it. When Kobe died, it was around.
Yeah, but I mean, you basketball, right?
Yeah.
Man, this is the playbook right here. This
For everything.
Hey, we can win any and every championship if we ran this play right. We ran this playbook, win any and every championship. It doesn't have to get all crazy, right? We just run the play. We win any and every championship, right? But I got one more for you. You got it?
Yeah. It's Sirach 3:21. Seek not out the things that are too hard for thee, neither search the things that are above thy strength.
Right. So don't seek out the things that are too hard for you. Man. You said it.
We know, right?
Yeah, man. What does it matter why God said not to eat pork? Right? I mean, you said it's great to know. I mean, cool, but what does it matter? He said not to do it. Right?
It's impossible. It's impossible to do.
Right? What is it? Like, how deep is the ocean? What does it matter?
It goes all the way through.
What does it matter?
Yeah.
Like, they came out with the new Godzilla movie. They're talking about. I mean, I'm sure that somebody had this theory before, but they're talking about hollow Earth. Is it a core? Is it hollow or is it a core? What does it matter? Is the Earth round or flat? What does it matter? None of it matters, right? Because if you got to think about it, if you're really wondering, it really doesn't matter. It's too much. Why? Who cares? Right? Who cares? Is that it?
Yeah, I but what is commanded thee, think thereupon with reverence.
Right? Think what's commanded you. The Bible, man. The laws. Think about that. Think about not eating pork. Right? Think about that if you have sex with a woman who's Black, Latino, or Native American, think about her being your wife. Right? And you dealing with her for the rest of your life. Think about that, right? Go ahead.
Think thereupon with reverence, for it is not evil for thee to see with thine eyes the things that are in secret. But be not curious in unnecessary matters, for more things are showed unto thee than man understand.
Right? More things gonna be shown unto you than people understand. They're worried about how deep the ocean goes, or how much space is in here, or carpet dating this and historical that. Yeah. When Most High is gonna reveal things to you that they're not even going to understand. Simply due to the fact that you're following the laws and staying in your lane. Right?
That shows me some crazy things when I'm just, minding my own way.
Exactly.
Yeah, it shows you some crazy
Exactly. And I guarantee you none of this stuff have anything to do with how deep the ocean is. Or why do dogs bark and cats meow? None of that matter. God made it that way. None of it matters. Right?
Yeah.
I
appreciate you being there, bro.
Yeah. Could you give me 2 Peter 2:11? Right? And just a little bit about what this brother was talking about. Him trying to figure out why God said not to eat pork. is part of your brain being on Babylon, right? That's all part of it. You know, like I told the brother before, you know, us having parents, I'm sure you heard it, sister, you heard it too, right? Ask your mom, ask your dad, why can't I do it? Because I said so. Because I said so.
I said it a lot.
She said a lot. Right? Because I said so. We listen to God because he said so. That's it, right? Go ahead. You got that?
2 Peter 2 and 11 in the GNT, even the angels who are so much stronger and mightier than these false teachers do not accuse them of insults in the presence of the Lord.
Right? So these angels, man, they don't accuse our brothers and sisters that are out here acting crazy. Because they don't even want to bring this stuff to the Lord. Even though the Most High knows what's going on, he sees it, right? But they don't even want to bring this drama to the Lord. It's so crazy, right?